Good afternoon, everyone. I am Vaidyaraj welcomes you all in the session of posters presentation for scientific conferences as a part of upcoming national conference on Panchabhautik Chikitsa. This conference is a collaborative or jointly organized by AYUSH Center of Excellence Savitribai Phule Pune Vidyapit, Indian Drug Research Orientation Association Pune, Vaidyaraj Datar Datar Panchabhautik Chikitsa and Samshodhan Kendra Sangli, and Bharatiya Sanskriti Darshan Trust Wagholi. This session will help the students, researchers, professionals again to gain essential skills in abstracts and designing impactful research posters, which will be useful across all the field of the studies. Here are some instructions for the participants. Please keep your mic on mute. Do not start video camera, as well as we will be having question answers at the end of the session. Now, I request Dr. Prashant Suru, the disciple of Dr. Datar Shastri, to give welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all in the present changing climate when everything is susceptible. Panchamahabhutas are at their different actions. Actually, Vaidyaraj Datar Shastri, rightly named as Brihatrayi Ratna Vaidyaraj Atmaram Vaman Datar Shastri, he has contributed a great to the science, for which he was recipient of Brihatrayi Ratna Award by Arya Vaidya Pharmacy, Coimbatore in 1995. Today, in 2025, he has completed 30 years of this award ceremony. Truly speaking, let me welcome on behalf of all the organizers to this great session. I welcome you all to join this phenomenal gathering, which is supposed to be for the celebration of profound legacy of Vaidyaraj Datar Shastri. Vaidyaraj Datar Shastri spent his total life and he just kept everything open to his students. Whatever the knowledge and whatever he has gathered from the great ocean of Ayurveda, he has contributed to students and the science. Keeping these things in mind, these four institutes, are trying to spread this Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta, the basic principle of Ayurveda, and Panchabhautik Chikitsa, which is based on the Panchamahabhuta Siddhanta. Truly speaking, we learned Panchabhautik Siddhanta, but we are not that much aware how to use this concept from concept to clinical for the practical. I was not able to speak a small moment. Truly, this conference which is supposed to be on 20th of July 2025 here in University of Pune. This conference is supposed to be for Bharatiya Ratna Vaidyaraj Datar Shastri, a distinguished pioneer of this science, Panchabhautik Chikitsa, to felicitate his all disciples are trying to give some clinical experiences and share their thoughts and the process in which Panchabhautik Siddhartha helps us for every single part and parcel of Ayurvedics, including Rachana, Kriya, Dana, Samprapti, Bhanga, that is Chikitsa, Upashay, Anupashay, Ahar, Vihar, Upastambha, and all. This will help for every person. And we are really happy to share that scholars and eminent personalities of Panchabhautik Chikitsa from throughout the world, from global level, will be our speakers for the conference. But at the same time, this conference need contribution from everybody, a student to the practitioner, to the researcher, many others. So we are thinking to have a poster session, a separate poster session for the conference, which will be displayed on that particular day. And for that, the scientific way, how to present and prepare the poster, this session is organized by Center of Excellence of AYUSH Department, especially from School of Health Sciences, Dr. Tillu and his great team. I just thank them and I request them that let these students get the basics from scientific research methodology. And obviously, I request you all you can do the best posters for Panchabhautik Chikitsa, of Panchabhautik Chikitsa, on Panchabhautik Chikitsa, and about Panchabhautik Chikitsa. The basic principle remains same at global level. My sincere request to the organizers to put forth these things in front of you. Let me welcome you once again and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Very well said for Panchabhautik, from Panchabhautik. Thank you, sir. So now we will start our next session with very interesting topic, the essentials of posters for science communication. This session will be presented by Dr. Sunetra Patwardhan. She is guiding us on this topic. Ma'am is currently working as a general manager for Journal of Ayurveda and Integrated Medicine. Madam has vast experience in academics and industry for about 20 years. With her knowledge and expertise, she will guide us on this topic. Over to you, Dr. Sunetra, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sulakshana. It gives me immense pleasure to share some information about these essentials of poster presentation for scientific sessions.
Sunetra, ma'am, mic.
Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, I will share my screen, and for saving the bandwidth, I will switch off my video so that it will not be a problem for the presentation. My screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So as we all know that for this conference, which is scheduled in July, we are holding a conference poster presentation session as a part of this conference. So that is why we have decided to keep this session so that all the beneficiaries will take advantage of this while preparing for their poster presentation. So let us start with this essentials of poster for science communication. So why one should go for presenting in conference? The first thing is the identity of the presenter gets established due to presenting a poster in conference, and also the identity to the work is given. Secondly, capacity building is the second advantage which we get after a presentation. Then your poster, contents of the poster, which are the scientific contents, the findings which you have got during your research, that can be communicated to more broad audience, and that's why it broadens the reach and impact of the work. It also develops writing and presenting skills of the presenter and the researchers. Helps in improving the communication skills, and also it gives you scope for creative presentations, preparing creative presentations, and make the impressive posters, which will be compelling for everyone to attend and go through these posters. And always it is said that knowledge is lost without written records. So that is one of the, just like paper publications or the journal publications, posters, they are one of the important tool for communicating the science to a large audience. Now let us see why and how of the impactful poster presentations. That is why you should prepare this poster and how you should present it. These are two important skills which you should know before you go for any conference presentations. So usually people think that when they are publishing the paper in a reputed journal, then only they are identified as a great researchers, but it is a myth. Actually, equally important is the conference poster presentations, just like your journal presentations. And that is why this poster presentation can be considered as a good communication tool to unfold your science. So these are the various aspects which the poster presentation can give. The new outcomes can be communicated. Whatever scientific findings you have given can be communicated to the large audience. If the poster is presented in a very effective way, then it can give the clear, simple, and well-ordered content to the viewers. Even though it is a ubiquitous type of mode, but still it is a vital part of the scientific landscape. And through conferences, various institutes, programs, workshops, there can be an outreach which can be attained through these poster presentations. The next advantage which we get is direct engagement with the audience and the expert persons from that research area and discussions on that research topic. So conveying your understanding and fostering engagement, as well as unique opportunity for your feedback for your work. That means some expert people from the audience can give you good inputs on your work, which can be considered as reviewers' comments, just like your journal's publications. You can inform and educate the audience on a broader and have a broader impact. The trust in science can be built through these poster sessions, through the scientific findings which you deliver to the audience. And you can generate curiosity, interest, and enthusiasm for science through the interactions which can happen during the poster presentation and clarifying the doubts. Now, when we talk about poster, it can be considered as a poster as a product. So it can be in two forms. Either it can be a physical poster or it can be a digital, that is e-poster. So it is nothing but the evidence that presents your research findings in a visual format. when you give it in a clear, concise, and creative artifact manner. Same way, the poster can be a process, because poster presentation is also considered as a process, because you require the preparation skills, you require various steps for preparing it, as well as various intricacies to present it. So it is also considered as a process. So poster as a product and as a process, both they are important to understand. Now let us see how the effective design of the scientific poster as a product can be developed. So very important first thing is the clear structure of your poster. So your poster should have IMRAD pattern, that is introduction, objective, method, result, conclusion, and they should be in proper logical flow. It should not be any haphazard arrangement of these contents on the poster. They should be properly logically aligned, and same way it should be delivered. The second important aspect of poster is simplicity in the poster and easy understanding of the text. So it should be easily readable, easily understandable. There should not be much jargons used in the poster, and the fonts should be suitable for scientific text and for the readability of the audience. Next important aspect of poster is captivating visuals. The tables, different high quality figures, images, graphs, they are the more impactful components of any poster. When you are using all these different types of visuals, then the viewers, they get attracted to see your poster. So along with the scientific correctness and scientific content, the visual and visibility of your poster is equally important. It can seek the attention of the audience, engages the audience, and it remains in the memory of the audience because of these visuals. The effective layout of the contents is very important. It should be well spaced. There should not be too crowding of the content. There should be some empty spaces also on the poster. Scientific flow and correctness should be ensured, and the well-organized info, when delivered in a proper language, then it can give the quick grasping of the content to the audience. And last but most important thing, your poster should highlight the key findings and key references only. It should not be a long unwanted content which can be seen on the poster. Only key points, important points should be present on the poster which can attract the viewers. There should be emphasis on the key findings and the key references. Now usually all references one cannot include in the poster considering the space limitations, and that is why few important references which you have used for the research work can be added at the end of the poster, and they also should be mentioned in the short forms, just as I have mentioned here in the short. Just one example I have given: Journal of Physiology, author's name only single author, and rest are added as et al, and the year of publication. So that is the way how the reference can be written, and the poster presentation should indicate the rigor and quality of your research. So that is the most important thing when you are preparing poster as a product, to attract the audience and to deliver your research and your science to the people. So a well-designed poster reflects your rigor and quality. Now let us come to the poster presentation as a process. We have seen right now how the product can be there, but now when you are preparing the poster and presenting it, that process is also equally important. So when you are presenting, brief introduction should be given at the start, or you can say elevator pitch should be delivered, and it should show the systematic flow of the contents when you are talking. When you are able to gauge the audience, how the audience is interested in which area of your research topic they are more interested in, based on that, you can emphasize on that particular part. So analyzing the audience is very important. Presenting, whether you are presenting it to large audience or you are talking one-to-one to a person in front of your poster, or whether it is a group of 3, 4 or more people, depending upon that, your content, your way of talking should get modified. Okay, and the scientific content which those people are interested in, you should emphasize on that while talking to them. Okay, and you have to explain on the individual's background and interest areas. So accordingly, you have to tailor your talk. The third important thing is you have to initiate the dialogue. If the people are just watching and reading your poster, if you are standing there in front of your poster, then you can initiate the dialogue and ask what type of area of interest they are looking for. If it is matching with your research poster, then you can immediately give them deeper understanding about your topic. You can address the inquiries very thoughtfully and accurately. This can trigger to formulate some questions from the audience, and they can initiate more discussion further, and which may lead to some more opportunities. So what those opportunities can be? Those opportunities can be for different types of research works together or collaborations or any other such type of thing. So next point is opportunity for feedback. So it is like immediately when you present your poster, you can get the comments or you can get the queries. So automatically you get reviewers' comments as your as a feedback for your content. So just like in case of journal publication, what happens? You have to submit it, and then after a few days or few months, you get reviewers' comments. But the advantage of poster presentation is what? You get immediate comments and feedback from the subject experts as well as from the other audience or researchers. So that can help you to improvise your writing, scientific writing, as well as if you want to add any component in your research for further progressing of your research work. Similarly, the scope for improving your work is definitely there in such type of discussions. Last point in this process is you create ground for networking. So when you are discussing your research with these people, you are fostering for the various connections with the researchers. You are also creating opportunities for potential collaborations, as well as you are also spreading that enthusiasm and that passion to the audience. So it can be one-to-one setup. This enthusiasm for science can be contagious. So that can be an added advantage when you are presenting a poster. So these are the important key points which you should note and which by which you should actually go for presenting your poster. Your language and body language both are equally important along with your scientific content, for which you should note and you should take care. Now, there are different types of scientific posters. I will not go into much detail of each type of poster, but all the types of posters, they are mainly based on the scientific purpose and the stage of the project at which you are. So your first type is research poster. So when your research is ongoing or you have completed, so the part which you have completed can be presented in the form of poster. And remember one most important thing in any poster presentation for conference, that if you have already published that research part in any publication or journal, then you cannot present it in the poster. Remember this, because many people are not knowing this fact, that for any poster presentation, it may be research poster, conceptual or review poster, any type, that particular part, it should not be published in the research journal. You should have the poster presentation only for the part which is unpublished yet, but you have completed that research work, okay, or that review, whatever. Okay, that is very important aspect which you should always remember when you are attending any conference. Already published part should not be presented. So first type is research poster, in which you can present your completed part, just like your research journal paper you are doing in IMRAD format. You have to mention or you have to follow, and future approach also you can mention if it is ongoing work. Okay, you have to mainly focus on the data analysis and their findings. The second type is conceptual poster, in which some theoretical concepts or models or some proposed methodologies for conducting a research, they are presented in this poster. Usually in this poster, main emphasis is given on the diagrams, flow sheets, and visuals, and some abstract ideas. Mainly it is to simplify some complex concepts which are totally new for the audience, and you are put forthing them for the first time, or which may be a rare case which you are actually sharing with the audience. Okay, for example, some proposed mechanism of action which is not yet established. Next type is case study or case report posters, in which a particular patient's case is detailed and analyzed in this particular poster. It can be, for example, a rare disease and a patient who is visiting the clinic, and for that rare disease, if you are treating that patient and you are following entire information of that patient, right from background history up to what type of situation in which the patient has arrived to your clinic, to the interventions which you have given and the final outcomes which you got, whether that patient got recovered or whether it was partial recovery, whatever. So that entire data can be documented in the form of case study reports and posters. The next type is methodological posters, in which you can describe or justify a particular research method or technique or tool, in which main emphasis is given on the chosen methods, its merits or limitations, or potentially some applications which that method can give for the society when that can be implemented or that will be implemented. The next type of poster is literature review. Now, this is usually at the start of your project, at the initial process, when you have not completed a single part of your project, but you have completed literature survey. So at that time, you can summarize and synthesize your research topic, and you can give the highlights of what exactly you are going to do in future, that research. Okay. And next is public health or outreach posters, which can communicate the health information, promoting awareness or advocating for specific actions within the community. Okay. So it is mainly the purpose of these posters is to educate the public or influence the behavior or awareness, increase the awareness about a particular health issue. So for that reason, these public health posters or outreach posters, they are designed. So these are the various types of posters which can be prepared based on your purpose and the stage of your project. Now, this is the last part of my presentation, tips for a compelling scientific poster. So when you are preparing the poster and when you are presenting the poster, there are two different phases. So there are tips based on when you are preparing. So while preparing the poster, you have to define the title, which should be very concise, clear, and it should indicate the exact research work which you are doing. You have to plan before you design the poster. So outline your content and the take-home message which you want that the audience should carry with them. So based on that, you have to prepare the outline and then start designing your poster. You have to keep it simple, no much complexity of the contents as well as visuals. Prioritize the visuals. You have to maintain the high quality graphics that can support your narratives. Then choose readable fonts and colors. I'm not going to much focus on this because my colleague will be detailing about how the creative posters can be made. So I will not much focus on this area. You have to follow the conference guidelines, which is most important part. Whatever guidelines the conference organizers they have given in the brochure, you have to pay full attention to that, including the size, formatting requirements, font, everything. Then get feedback. That is, ask your friends, your colleagues about the poster before presenting, before completing your design, and make the necessary corrections. Okay, these are while preparing your poster. Now, while presenting, you should know your poster completely from inside out. Any query, if the audience or the subject expert ask about your subject or your research topic, you should be able to answer that. Be approachable with good smile, direct eye contact, and you can invite the questions and answer them confidently and politely. Start with the hook point. Briefly introduce your research and its significance. Then listen actively and pay attention to the questions and respond to them very thoughtfully. You should not be casual when you are answering or you are replying to the audience or to the experts. Okay? Be concise, respect the viewer's time as well as focus on the key findings. And if you are having some handouts or some supplementary information which you are carrying with you, you can show at the time of poster presentation if required. And practice your delivery. That is, rehearsal is necessary before presenting the poster directly in the conference. So these are few tips which you can follow while presenting your scientific poster in any conference. So a well-presented scientific poster enhances your professional image. So remember this and embrace this opportunity to engage, inform, and connect through your posters. Thank you. I hope I have shared all the important aspects of the poster presentation. Now I will hand over to Sulakshana Madam again. Thank you so much for patience listening.
Thank you so much, Sunitra ma'am. Really, you have given very nice guideline regarding all the things. And you have mentioned very well that we should take care while presentation or while preparing of the posters and while presenting of the posters, we should take care that the part, it should be unpublished part. And lastly, you said very well that a well-presented scientific posters enhance your professional images. Thank you so much, Sunitra ma'am. So now I would like to invite our next speaker, who is Madhura Joshi. She has completed her master's in pharmaceutics and she is our technology expert. Looking her expertise, she is the perfect person to talk on the topic making creative posters. Over to you, Madhura.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind introduction. So I'll share my screen. Is my slide visible? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for being here today. I am Madhura Joshi, a research fellow at AYUSH Center of Excellence. So today we are going to learn about how to make creative posters, clear and compelling research posters that not only look good, but also communicate effectively. So a poster is not just about putting a content on a board. It's a visual summary of your research. Our goal is to create posters that are engaging, informative, and visually appealing. So now we will understand how to create posters. So let's look at what makes a poster good. So a good poster should have a clear structure. Like Sunitra ma'am said, we should follow IMRAD format, that is introduction, method, results, and discussion. Then it should have a concise text. We should not put the whole paragraphs from the research papers. We should use bullet points and short paragraphs and make it easy to read. Then your poster should have good visual aids and consistent design formatting. That is the theme of your visual aids, your graphs, your posters should be consistent. So this is a basic and widely used layout of a scientific research poster. It is a clean, structured, and easy to follow. So at the top, we have the title, author's name, and institutional logo. So your title should be short, clear, and it should reflect the core idea of your research. And also you should include your name and your institution name and logo. Then on the left hand side, we will begin with introduction. So this session should answer what is your research about, why it is important. You should keep it brief and to the point. Now below introduction, we have methods or data column. So this tells people how you did the work. Mention the tools, study designs or techniques in simple way. Use bullet points if possible. Then the center is the heart of your poster, which is results and graphs. So you should use visuals like charts, tables, or diagrams to show what you have found. So, and you should keep the text minimal and let the visuals do talk. Okay. Then on the right hand side, it is the discussion part. So this is where you interpret your results. Then comes the conclusion section. So you have to sum up your key takeaways in 1 to 2 lines. And finally, at the bottom, you should add your references and acknowledgement. So you should mention the important citations, your mentors, funding agencies, and institutions that supported you to work. So now here are some things to avoid. So bad posters often have too much text, poor and low quality visuals, inconsistent fonts or formatting, and no clear structure. So when a poster looks messy, people tend to ignore it, even if the content is good. So here are some steps which are steps in designing a poster. So here are the 4 main steps. So the step 1 is scripting. So first you should think about who will read your poster. So it might be experts or it could be general visitors or students. So always use simple and clear language that anyone can understand. Then second, avoid long paragraphs. Your poster is not a research paper. Use bullet points. They are easy to read and it helps people to grasp your message quickly. The third is organize your content into clear sections like introduction, method, result, and conclusion. Okay, use big bold headings to guide your readers. It helps them to know where to look next. And finally, graphs are there. So you should add just 1 or 2 key graphs that really shows your main findings. So if your audience is general, then make them super clear. If your audience is more scientific, then you can go in bit deeper, but you should keep it clean and simple. So the next step is about concept. So always you should first check with the organizers. Should your poster be vertical or horizontal? So usually we use A0 size for scientific posters. And one should avoid stretching images because it makes them blurry. Then the second one is people usually read posters from left to right or either top to bottom. So design your content in the panel or blocks that allows you a natural flow. So it helps the reader to move through your poster smoothly. And the last one is you should leave space at the edges. So don't fill every corner with text or images. Leave some blank space. It is called as the negative space. It gives eyes a break and makes your content easier to focus on. So the step 3 is designing. So now I will, on the left hand side, you can see 3 different examples of posters. So example 1 is a minimalistic poster. So the close-up of the eye and the word listen grabs the attention with emotion and simplicity. So black and white color keeps it clean. The second example is of a colorful typographic posters. So here the bright color and playful letters make it fun and energetic, and they are eye-catching also. The third example is a data poster. It uses charts and icons to explain the data clearly. The design helps people to understand complex information quickly. So can anyone tell me why do these visuals work so well? I'll tell you, because our brain processes images much faster than text. So when designing your poster, ask yourself, what will catch someone's eye first? Emotion, color, or clarity? Then we'll go on to how to choose the colors. So when choosing colors, you should keep it simple. Use a color palette of 3 to 5 colors maximum. This helps to maintain a clean and professional look. So you can use a primary color, a dark primary color, a contrast color, and for text you can use two colors, basically black and white. So talking about the background. So one should choose a plain and non-distracting background. So white or light gray background works the best. This keeps focus on your content and not the background. Now moving on to the fonts. So fonts should be clean and easy to read. Avoid decorative and pokey fonts. Stick to professional ones like Arial, Calibri, or Helvetica. And now moving on to the font size. So your title should be the biggest text on the poster. So your font size of the title should be 90. So this helps the people to see and understand your topic from distance. So you can use font size of 60 for section headings like introduction, methods, results. And you can use a font size of 36 for your main content. So it keeps your text easy to read without crowding the layout. Then this is an example of how not to do. So a large chunk of text, it is hard to read and doesn't allow the eye to rest. So the right version is much better. The information is broken into clear bullet points, making it easier to understand, and it is quick. So you should use short sentences or phrases and try to add visuals if possible. uh, you should use high resolution images and relevant visual aids. So also use the images which supports your research, and your message should not distract from it. Images should not distract your message, key message. Then, before finalizing your poster, always do a quick quality check like spelling and grammar, also the alignment of text and images, the consistent use of colors and fonts, and whether your main message is clear or not. So all these points I have summarized into this one slide. I'll move further. So now which softwares to use? So you don't need any expensive software to create a poster. Microsoft PowerPoint is more enough. But if you want to explore more softwares, here are some like Canva or Adobe Illustrator or InDesign. But these softwares are paid one. Now, the final step is getting your poster ready to print. So once your poster is ready, check the size and resolution. Export it as a high quality PDF. Before printing your final poster, there are some few important things to remember. First, always get feedback from your guide or colleagues. Next, print a small version of your poster on A4 or A3 paper. So this dummy print helps you to check if the text is readable, images are clear, and everything looks balanced. It is a quick and easy way to avoid errors. Also make sure uh, and your poster is in the correct size from the beginning, like A0. Use high resolution, that is around 300 dpi, so that the text and images look sharp when printed. And lastly, choose the right paper. So avoid glossy papers because it reflects the light and can be hard to read. So matte paper is the best option for clean and professional look. Here are some memes about the posters. And thank you all for your time and attention. I hope you found these tips helpful for creating a creative and impactful posters. If you have any questions, you may ask. So wishing you all the best with your posters. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, Sulakshana, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Madhura. You have presented very well. You have discussed all the points, how we should add introduction, methods, result, graph, discussion, conclusion, which part of the posters, as well as you have mentioned from the font size, resolution, which paper we can use, as well as the which resolution number we can use. Very well, Madhura. Thank you so much. I think your guideline will be helpful for the everyone, how everyone can use, and it is very well presented. Thank you so much, Madhura. Now we are moving on our next session. This is very interesting session as we are talking about Panchabhautik Chikitsa. So here is a session which name is the Communicating Ayurveda, posters for communicating Ayurveda concepts. As this topic is about Ayurveda concepts, we are having with us Vaidyaraj Pawar, who is a master's in Swasthavritta and a yoga expert. He is having very well hold on the designing and technology with minute precision. So here is Rohit Pawar. Over to you, Rohit.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind introduction. I'll be sharing my slide here. Yes. So without getting late, I begin my presentation. Since my colleagues, Dr. Sunetra and Madhura has walked you all through how to present scientific posters, I'm not going to talk how to make posters, but I am going to talk about how not to make posters for communicating Ayurvedic concepts. So first of all, you all have to decide what parishad or what conference or what kind of gathering you are going to address. So there can be two types of gatherings, Jnanavati and Mood. And after that, there are three more classifications, Surud, Udasin, and Pratinivishta. So accordingly, one has to prepare their presentation. Either their audience is well understood or not, or mundane, who's not gonna understand jargonous concepts. So that's how you make presentations.
Rohit, are you there?
Just a moment. Sorry for the inconvenience. So why are we communicating Ayurveda through posters? The problem, the first problem exists, that is language barrier. Many of us, as an Ayurveda practitioner, have encountered this problem, that our patients or someone from our family don't exactly understand what we're trying to communicate or what we're trying to tell them through Sanskrit terms or Sanskrit terminology. So we all have to explain them in simpler terms or simpler terminology, or in a way we have to use some basic language, Marathi, English, Hindi, or anything that they can understood. So there's another problem, complex terminology and concepts. So I would say there are few concepts in Ayurveda that require more understanding or more cognizance level, that is Avruttavat or Avran, let's say and not every scholar, not every student understand the way their teacher teach them. So it's not about what one should understand, but how it is presented, it matters as well. So disconnect between traditional metaphors and contemporary understanding. There is one concept in Sushrut Sharir Sthana about Shuddha Artava, Indra Gopopam Laghum. So it is described as Shuddha Artava looks like Indragopo, looks like Indragop, which is an arthropod. And again, in Ashtang Hriday Uttarasthana, while describing Masurika, comes a concept where they explain Raktavarna Indragopa Sannibha. So in contemporary scenario, many students might not have seen in what is Indragop or how does it look like. Many of us know what is beetle, but don't know what is Indragop. But if we explain or if we present this information or show the picture of Indragop, one might understand what is Indragop and how the color of that particular structure is. And the second thing is the challenge lies in communicating it effectively through diverse population. As I said earlier, we can't explain in Sanskrit terminology to our parents or our family members or teachers as well. So we wonder why primary schools has audio-visual presentation. For that same matter, primary school introduce audio-visual presentation. So first grade children can easily understand a jargonous concept or a difficult concept through visual presentations. So why posters? I will say it is a solution for explaining a difficult concept as well. Posters are strategic communication tool and not just informative. On the right side, you can see WHO had presented this poster about hand washing in 2009. It is more about action, how to hand wash, not just hand wash can give you safe hands and keep you out of the reach of microbes and all. It is more of action oriented. Visual impact enhances understanding and memorization. It reaches diverse audience effectively, and visual should not just instruct but inspire action or reinforce healthy behavior. And that's why referring to last slide, we should be using Yuganurupo Sandarbha. So how do we make presentations? So I'll quote here Vagbhat reference, Vagbhata style of presentation. Te abhyo ati prakirnebhya prayasartaro chayaha kriyate ashtanghrudayam nati sankshepa vistaram. So that's how we make posters. Na ati sankshepa, na ati vistaram. It has less words but more impact. But one more thing to tell you, Vagbhata didn't had Canva then, but we do, and we should be making good use of that for making good posters. We should be advocating for more visually engaging, creative, and modern format for Ayurvedic education, so that complex terminologies or complex concept can come to derivation or direct applications. So here's an example I'm presenting here. It is one of the famous, one of the chikitsa or one of the disease we have in Chikitsa Sana of Charaka. I guess one of you can just type what this is all about. Yeah, it is about Tarunjwar Chikitsa. Here it is. Langanam Svedanam Kalo Yavagu Tiktaka Rasaha. We can just print this and paste in our clinics so that one can just understand how Tarunjar can be treated or how upcoming like 2-3 days 2-3 day old Jwara can be treated. Next, diurnal variation or let's say circadian rhythm. Activeness from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and less active from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That is wind down from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and wind up from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that's how we can make impact from simple imagery and less words. So here are do's and don'ts. We should not be sticking to adjectives such as many, various, different, or like ancient. And we should be focusing more on facts that Ayurveda is an ancient science, but we should be focusing on how Ayurveda helps humans to counter diseases or how it helps to improve our daily life. Then we should be focusing more on application of the principle, not just saying principles again and again. And we should be going more about application and derivation. Rather than just describing anything, we should be indulging in discussion and making more wordy about our presentation, we should be going for symbols that are self-explanatory. And rather than romanticizing one reference, we should be focusing more on what is the impact of that reference or what is the impact of that particular concept. What if I said Shodhana is a unique concept of Ayurveda, and later that I said Shodhana can change internal environment by removing certain metabolic waste. So here we are conveying the factual information that Shodhana, what does Shodhana does to the body. And on the other hand, we are just glorifying what Shodhana does, what Shodhana is all about. And secondly, Ayurveda is a great science for all. But just saying that, without saying just that, we should be saying Ayurveda provides personalized yet holistic health management to everybody. We should be using less jargon and simple explanation for various concepts. For last few months, I have been working as a peer reviewer in Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, and these are my observations that I review various articles and papers. I have seen the disconnect between traditional language and modern understanding, where I see people keep using the Sanskrit terminologies that all people might not understand. There is a common misinterpretation or simplification of concepts, and I have seen references from lesser known publication as well. Limited representation of regional diversity, that people say Ayurveda is only in Himalaya, Ayurveda is only in Maharashtra, or Ayurveda is in only Kerala, but Ayurveda starts from our kitchens. Excessive use of adjectives such as different, various, and many, losing essence in numerous words such as I said earlier. So here's an example. I'm displaying one abstract in front of on this screen. You might want to go through. So here I have highlighted few words that seem pompous. If you replace all those words, there can be abstract as well. There can be an abstract as well. And again, see, this is the complete message that that this abstract has had to present. So all this explanation can be comprised to these 3 lines only. So here is the scope for presenting various posters that are not yet available in the market, or let's say as an educational material. Arishta Lakshana, Kushta Prakar, Vimshati Guna, Saptakala, and Marma. It's an open call to all authors, or to that they can make various posters or just draw their imagery and post in authoritative journals, so that all people or upcoming researcher might refer to these posters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rohit. It's really your presentation, we can say it's having Yuganarup Sandarbha. That means in now era, how we can present our Ayurveda in enhancing way. You have presented very well. I can say it is Nati Vistaram, Nati Sankshepam. Thank you so much, Rohit. So now moving ahead, here is we are entering on our last and very interesting session. The name is Publication Ethics for the Poster. We are having with us Ms. Sanchita Sangli, who is the editorial manager of Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine. She is a correct person to talk on this topic. She has good experience on this area, and we can learn many things from her presentation. Over to you, Sanchita.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm the last batsman on the field today, so I'm going to keep the presentation short and crisp. I'll just share the screen here. Can you all see my screen? Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I just put it in. So what I'm going to talk today is about publication ethics for posters. And so what exactly is in publication ethics? I'm just going to give a quick overview. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about is research misconduct. So when we say research misconduct, it mainly is defined as fabrication or falsification or plagiarism in proposing, performing, or reviewing research or in reporting research results. That is one of the ways of research misconduct. The other one is fabrication. So when we say fabrication, that can be making up data or results or recording or reporting them, something that does not exist, and we're just fabricating something that is also incorrect. So these are some of the things that should not be done, and publication ethics just helps us in putting and identifying what these potential problems can be when we are representing research. The third one is falsification. Falsification is more like manipulating the research materials, equipments, or processes, or changing or omitting data or results in a way that research is not accurately represented in the research record. So that is also a form of incorrect representation in science. And one of the few that I've mentioned is plagiarism. Plagiarism is again appropriation of another person's ideas, processes, results, or words without giving appropriate credit. Now, there are different kinds of plagiarism, and it's not just plagiarism of text, it can also be plagiarism of ideas. And while I have spoken about 4 different pillars of publication ethics, it can be infinite, but as the saying goes, vikrityo niyamo nasti. So this is, the list can be infinite, but we might want to concise and stick to what is right and what is wrong. And these are just a few that I have shown. And since I work in an editorial office, I just thought I'll give some quick tips for making a poster using the ethical compass. So here are the things that you should do as authors. One is clearing authorship issues right in the beginning of making a poster and conducting the research per se, and defining who the authors are going to be clearly, who is the first author, second author, last author, accordingly. The next one is ensuring originality of content, not using somebody else's data and analysis or anything just like that, but also images. Generating images that are original, self-made, self-created graphs is very important while we are presenting posters. The next one is using references from indexed journals and avoiding any predatory references that we can, as it would reflect on the quality of the research that we have conducted. So always use references from good indexed journals. Using few references, but quality references. Your poster can have less than 5 references, but it can still add value to the existing research if the research in itself is good. So too many references might not be directly proportional to the kind of research that is being conducted. The next one is presenting to depict the novel findings. What is the novelty and what is the key finding of your poster should be very important while we are displaying the poster. Declarations. If you have used if there has been any funding for your research project, if you all have used any sort of generative AI in writing the poster, that should be mentioned while making the presentation, or any relevant things that are there in the declaration, conflicting interests, you can also declare that in the posters. The next one is knowing your limits on the poster. This was particularly an interesting one because we have seen a lot of posters that want to add everything and anything that has been done in the research. And we should understand that posters are only one way of representing our research and not the whole thing. So we might want to make sure that we address everything important in the study in the easiest and the most communicable way possible. But that does not necessarily mean that we include everything that is there. So this is where we might want to cut it short and portray it, because writing short is difficult, and finding out the most important things is also difficult, and I'm sure most of the authors here would agree. The last one is ensuring that we give proper acknowledgements to only those who have contributed in the research journey. For instance, somebody has helped you in making a particular thing or getting some particular data from some source or something, and that is the secondary data that you have worked on, and that is the entire research. It should be duly acknowledged. This is also the place where we can refrain from acknowledging a particular institutional head or dean or something like that if they have not significantly contributed in the research conduct of the study. That also means that we will not be looking forward to gift authorship, ghost authorship, or guest authorship while making posters. So this, I'm going to give a case example of what a good poster looks like. So notice how the central part of the poster focuses on self-created images and visuals, and there is originality in content and depiction. The conclusions focus on the key findings of the study. Now, the study might have been long and elaborate, but notice how this author has just put up 3 concluding main parts, and those are the key findings. And references. The references are minimal, and with, I think there are just 6 references here for the entire study that has been presented. So this is an example of good poster. I've also identified a case example of a poor poster from the New York University libraries, and I've cited it below. So what is disturbing about this poster is there are unnecessary images on the right-hand side, right above the title, right where the title has been placed. Posters do not have abstracts per se, so we might not want to have that. Too much text and a lot of use of gray can be boring and disturbing the reader. Notice how the text is too small and the figures too many. And additionally, the caption for the figures is not in alignment with the figure. So the space has not been utilized properly is what we can see. Also on the extreme right-hand side, you can see that everything is crammed, so clumsy, and the main message that is being given from this paper is a little lost. Now, there is a reason why all of this is a little blurred and you all are not seeing it exactly how it is. So, but the point being that the main message that this study has been trying to convey is getting lost in too much of information that is being trying to given from this poster. The last one is writing references. So how we write references on a poster is this way. You can put it short, and this is exactly how you cite references on a poster, not like the ones we do in research papers. So these are easier to note and search for whoever is seeing your poster in passing. And if they like a particular reference and they want to see it, they can just note it down quickly on their notebooks. Second important thing, it saves a lot of space on your poster. The right-hand side reference that you all see, this is very much used in the research papers, but not in the poster, for the very fact that it looks clumsy. And it takes a lot of space as well on the research paper, on the research poster. And the last one is images. I've used these images from a poster that Madhura created, and using originally and self-created images or illustrations is a must while we're using a poster. Using images from Google or Wikipedia might not be the best way to go ahead with it, no matter what your study is. So avoid using any pre-existing images that are there in the posters. And notice in the second image how the network is too small to identify. So if the reader, for instance, wants to understand the key message from this particular image, it is clearly not understood. So make sure what is it that you want the readers to understand from that. That pretty much brings me to the end of the presentation, and I'd like to end this with a saying from a very famous influential basketball player that said that it's one of the things that you can control. You are responsible for how people remember you or how they don't. So don't take it lightly. So thank you for being patient listeners. If you all want to reach out to us, you all can contact us on these email IDs, and we'd be happy to take any questions if there are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanchita. Very well presented. And you started with Vikrityo Niyama Nasti. That is really interesting to know. You have mentioned very well that we should have our posters with novelty. We should be clearly having declaration, as well as we should give proper acknowledgement. And you mentioned 3 Gs, that is gift author, ghost author, and guest author. That I find really new and very, very interesting to understand easily also. And the poster should be very clear. It should not be cramped and clumsy. Thank you so much, Sanchita. Now we will move ahead. Now the session is open for question and answer. I request Vinitha Deshmukh ma'am, Deputy Director of Integrated Cancer Treatment and Research Center, Wagholi. She is with us for question and answer session. Over to you, Vinitha ma'am.
Thank you, Sanjit. Thank you, Sulakshana. Hello, Sulakshana.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm audible, Dr. Sulakshana.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Acha, so from audience, somebody will ask questions.
Ma'am, you can also share your say experiences. I think we have here Yogita, Jamdana ma'am, and others also. So please share your experience or tips about this topic.
Okay, thank you. Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And I must introduce Vinitha ma'am, a new introduction. Vinitha ma'am is very well-known researcher in the field. And one of the important uniqueness about Vinitha madam is she is working on various cancer research institutes of India and abroad, and hence she has got a very, very good experience of working in various parts of world and interact with scientific communities. So, ma'am, over to you for your tips and guidance.
Thank you, Dr. Girish Tillu, sir. I'm very happy to attend this session because it is very important, and all 4 speakers covered the various aspects of poster presentation, and there was no repetition, and each and every aspect was very important. I must congratulate them because the budding researchers, or not only the budding researchers, but the researchers like us who are in the field of clinical and research field are also not aware of ethics in presenting the poster or some points which are explained in this session. So I'm congratulating all of them. And one thing I am adding here that the third lecture was delivered by, I think, Dr. Pawar, and he delivered the lecture very well about Ayurvedic perspective of preparing posters. It is very important because we have learned from Dr. Sunitra madam, Dr. Madhura Joshi madam, and Dr. Sanchita madam about the modern perspective of presenting poster. But presenting poster for Ayurvedic fraternity is another challenge because the terminologies are different. Then we have a habit of explaining any subject in length. We Ayurvedic physicians have very less habit to explain any subject in brief. So we have to make aware to prepare the poster in very concise manner. And that is another important challenge for us for Ayurvedic, as explained by Dr. Ayurvedic Vaidya, that na ati sangshepa and na ati vistara. This is the this is the very appropriate qualification of good poster. So I think this session is very important for not only for budding researchers, but for the researchers working in this field for many years. And I can remember when we were in our early stage of research, we were preparing the posters, and that at that time there were no guidelines. So we were preparing posters as given in Google and like that. But right now, many Ayurvedic conferences, they are giving proper guidelines for preparing poster. And once I visited Delhi, and in that conference, there was a concept of e-posters. And I was highly impressed with that concept because definitely it needs many computers and like that. But that type of poster presentation is very economic because we do not have to carry our posters from one part of India to another part of India. So now in this the era of technology, the e-poster concept is very good. And I think I am congratulating Dr. Girish Tillu sir, Sulakshana madam, and thankful to Dr. Prashant Suru sir for inviting me for this session.
Audience, if you have any questions, please ask. You can type in chat box also if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Vinita ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you for your guidance. So moving ahead. Just a minute, ma'am. There is one question from Dr. Ganesh Karanskede. What precautions should be taken for making posters? For researchers from other fields. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, there is one question.
Yeah.
What
Hello.
precautions? Question is, what precautions should be taken for making posters for researchers from other fields?
From other fields, what do you mean from?
I think he want to say apart from Ayurveda.
Okay. Okay, but it may be biotechnology or allopathy or like that, or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I think the format of question in all faculties is same. So there is all the rules applied for Ayurveda are applied for all other pathies also, because the format and the ethical issues are same for all.
Yes, ma'am. Any other question? Thank you so much, ma'am. So
Okay,
now
then.
moving ahead. We are having with us Dr. Mandar Akkalkotkar sir, who is a certified instructor for first aid and life-saving skills, American Heart Association. I request Dr. Mandar Akkalkotkar sir to give a vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
I would like to thank the organizers of the the IDRA then Bharatiya Sanskriti Darshan College, fourth most with Panchbhautik Chikitsa Samshodhan Kendra. Dr. Sunil Patwardhan, Ms. Madhura Doshi, Dr. Rohit Pawar, to present the poster during the conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, in chat box, we have put the information for the registration of the conferences, as well as before conference, we are having one pre-conference session to present case reports. So please, to whomever interested or whoever interested, please register yourself for the conference. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you. Now I am concluding the session. Thank you so much.